My Hero Academia is chock full of vicious, vainglorious villains that pose a threat to every prosperous, peaceful person in society. These rambunctious rapscallions come in all shapes and sizes. Big, fat, small, slim, man, bird, you name it, they've got it. While our hopeful heroes work day and night to put an end to these terrible tyrants, a new, dastardly duo have emerged on the scene. Some say they're good, some say they're bad, some say they're alright. But one thing is certain, these terrifying twosome have left quite an impression on the show's valiant viewers. From what we've gathered, the main mullish man of it all has claimed the name of Gentle Criminal. Quite quaint if I do say so myself. With his sudden arrival on the scene, only one question remains. Could he be the greatest villain of them all?
When we first meet Gentle, he seems like every other small-time criminal or villain in the show. Maybe just a teensy bit extra. Compared to Overhaul, Stain, Shigaraki or All For One, his antics seem like mere child's play as he robs grocery stores and commits truly basic acts of low-level thievery. I mean, to be honest, he's more similar to the Reservoir Dogs than to any previous antagonist Midoriya has faced. Who are the Reservoir Dogs, you ask? Well, how could you forget these guys? Exactly. They are nobodies. But this is one of the reasons why Gentle is such a great character. He's an absolute nobody. He's not an infamous serial murderer, a notorious Yakuza head, or the leader of some cult trying to change society. He's just a guy trying to get famous any way he can. He wants the world to notice him and to remember his name. To be honest, this is one of the most relatable qualities any character in the world of My Hero Academia possesses. The desire to leave a legacy. We all want to be remembered, to leave a part of ourselves behind in the world which will carry on our name. Whether it is through something we made or an achievement we accomplished, we all want to be noticed. I mean, how many of us have set up gaming channels, podcasts, or even a My Hero Academia video essay channel named after the time in the middle of the day when lunch is eaten that provides top quality content which is unavailable anywhere else, in the hopes of raking in millions of fans? The answer probably won't surprise you because it's a lot. While Gentle's actions aren't the most heroic or honourable, his motive is understandable and sympathetic. He is undeniably the most relatable villain and arguably the most relatable character in the entire series. And this relatability only becomes more prevalent when we see Gentle's past. We witness Gentle's failure in becoming a hero. It is unveiled that Gentle's only desire in life was to become a great hero, someone who is adored and beloved by the public, someone they mention in the history books. But it is quickly revealed that his attempts to achieve his goal have been in vain. He's had to repeat years in school and has failed the hero license exam 4 times. Even with this, however, Gentle is still persistent in keeping his dream. Even when advised by his peers to give up, he refuses. This is where we see the reality of Gentle. He's not a villain. He's us, the audience. We can often forget that the students in UA are the best of the best, and for the few that get into the school, thousands don't. While we dream of being great heroes who save the day and are loved by millions, the harsh reality is that we aren't. And a lot of times when we try to be, we fail. Just like Gentle, we can try and try again, but sometimes we just aren't good enough. We aren't destined for anything. Just because we try our best doesn't mean we are guaranteed success. Gentle learns this lesson the hard way, as in an attempt to save a fallen cleaner's life, he unintentionally interrupts a professional hero from doing his job, resulting in both the cleaner and the hero falling to what could have potentially been their deaths. After this incident, Gentle gives up on his dream and leaves his home. This is the darkest part of Gentle's journey and one of the most unsettling epiphanies for us the audience, as it shows us the true reality of the world. You may think Gentle was wrong or foolish for trying to save the cleaner, but in actuality, Gentle was showing the sign of a true hero. Since the beginning of the show, we've been told that there comes a moment in every young hero's life when their feet move before their mind can think. This was Gentle's moment. While the crowd stood agaze at the horror about to unfold before them, Gentle ran in and took initiative. He acted without thinking of the consequences. This is exactly what Midoriya did in the very beginning of the series, when he ran at the sludge monster to try and save Best Boy. Both Midoriya and Gentle showed the sign of being true heroes. The difference? Circumstance. Sometimes when we believe we are doing the right thing, when we put in our best, we just aren't under the right circumstances. Midoriya running in to save Bakugo was far more reckless than Gentle's attempt at saving the cleaner. but Midoriya had all might to save the day. In the end, everything turned out okay for Midoriya because he acted under the right circumstance. While he was scolded by the heroes, he was let off with a warning, and then he was praised by the number one hero. Gentle wasn't so lucky. Gentle's entire life was ruined because of his mistake, and he was forced to give up everything he had, everything he believed in. Instead of pursuing his dream, he was left wandering the streets, a nobody who wasn't good enough to make it. This is heartbreaking. Gentle never had any bad intentions. He never tried to mess with people. He never showed any sign of wanting to hurt someone. He was a good man who suffered from unfortunate circumstances. These circumstances ended up leading him down the path of villainy. Gentle may not have the power to freeze heroes with fear due to his mere presence, and he may not pose a massive threat, but what makes Gentle more terrifying than any other villain is that he could have been anyone. His descent into villainy shows us that even good people under the wrong circumstances can find themselves on the very path they swore to fight against. Gentle's journey from wannabe hero to full-time villain is eerily understandable, and that's what makes him great. He's not the embodiment of evil, he's just a person who has suffered from an unfortunate turn of events. While this undoubtedly sets Gentle apart from his supervillainous peers, this is not the whole reason why I believe Gentle to be one of the greatest characters in My Hero Academia. The real reason is what Gentle does as a villain. We have seen this trope before. A good guy goes down a dark path and turns bad. While Gentle's journey from hero to villain is heartbreaking and quite depressing, as you can't help but feel sorry for the guy, story-wise, his journey to villainy is not groundbreaking new material. But what separates him from countless others is his morality and ideals. Gentle goes under the title of villain, because in the world of My Hero Academia, that is exactly what a villain is. A title. When we hear the word villain, we associate it with cruelty, evil, doing what's wrong, because it is what we've been told villains are since childhood. Villains bad, heroes good. Hotel, Travago. But the term villain in My Hero Academia doesn't imply the same connotations we've become so accustomed to. Whether a person is a hero or villain is not an opinion or based on a person's morality. It is earned in the same way one can gain the title of doctor or professor. A person's true intentions are not taken into consideration. As long as they perform the necessary tasks to gain the title, then everything else they do is disregarded. This is why a person like Endeavor, someone who bought his wife, forced her to have his children, and then beat said children, can still be called not only a hero, but the number one hero. Being a hero in this world doesn't inherently mean you are a good person, and being a villain doesn't mean you are a bad person. While most heroes and villains naturally fit into the worldly perception we have on them, there are outliers. Gentle is one of these outliers. While he claims the title of villain, Gentle has one defining feature that not only shows his true character, but shows us the audience that even when you think you've lost everything, you can never fully lose who you are. This feature is Gentle's morality. Gentle's crimes are petty and seem minimal, but this is the point. While his desire to become world famous has become so desperate that it has driven him to a life of villainy, he refuses to give up his hero code. He has worked day in and day out to become popular, but he refuses to do anything he deems wrong or immoral. Every victim of his crimes is deserving of their punishment, and even at that, he only performs crimes that don't involve harming others. Even when Stain's video gets released and gains far more traction than any of his own videos, he scoffs and calls Stain barbaric. He knows what's popular, what people want, what he can do to reach his dream, yet he refuses to do it because it goes against everything he believes in, everything he sees as being right. This is inspiring and makes Gentle's fight with Midoriya all the more emotional. Both Midoriya and Gentle have the same understanding of what is right and what is wrong. Gentle acts as a reflection of Midoriya. They both struggled in their youth, they both suffered and went through moments of pain, but both of them refused to give up their ideals. When Labrava activates her quirk and Gentle enters lover mode, Labrava is shocked that he chooses to fight Midoriya. She states that they only ever use this increase in power to escape or run away. This is another example of Gentle's true nature. Gentle has the ability to become just as strong as Midoriya using 8% of One For All, yet he uses this power solely to avoid confrontation. In a world like My Hero Academia, where seemingly the solution to every problem is to duke it out, this pure desire to avoid conflict is uncanny. Gentle could pose a threat to even some veteran heroes, and he could easily become a well-known criminal, but he chooses not to use this power. It is one thing to not be able to do something, but it is another thing completely to choose not to do something. A person who is incapable of harming others and chooses not to is a good person, but a person who has the power but chooses not to is someone far greater. It is only after understanding all of this that we can truly appreciate the character that is Gentle. Him staying to fight Midoriya isn't him losing his cool, it's a declaration. A declaration of not only Gentle's respect towards Midoriya, but of Gentle's admission to himself. This is who he is meant to be, and no one can change that. When Midoriya finally beats Gentle, it's not a happy, uplifting moment, because this wasn't a fight between good and evil. It was a fight between two heroes just trying to achieve their dreams. Midoriya himself admits this was his hardest fight, because in this story, there are no villains. Gentle's arc from start to finish only spans across 6 episodes, and in some of these episodes, he gets little over 3 minutes of screen time. Yet, even within this short amount of time, this character somehow managed to not only steal the show, but outshine many of the previous antagonists in the series. The question I posed at the start of this video was whether or not Gentle is the greatest villain in My Hero Academia. And the answer is no. Because Gentle is not a villain. He's a misguided hero who through untold hardships showed that society and the circumstances you find yourself under don't define you. Only you can define yourself. I hope when Gentle returns in the series, we will get to see just how good of a hero he can truly be. This has been the story of Gentle, a true Imperial Gold quality hero.